a consensus that cannot hear its critics, discovers its errors late and expensively. Yet it would be a distortion not to acknowledge that while there were such problems, few foundational steps were taken for institution building as well during that time. Early India also placed genuine faith in science and technology. We established great institutions, technological institutions like the ISRO, the BARC, the BHEL, and the IITs. We built them with confidence to seek the best collaboration in the world. German assistance for IIT Madras, Russian support for IIT Bombay, American collaboration at IIT Kanpur, and IIT Delhi, I think it was a British collaboration. So iconic irrigation and power projects were also undertaken at that time to empower agriculture. However, their implementation moved at a snail's pace, and the water distribution, for instance, networks stopped short of the last mile. It would be amiss on my part if I don't mention Pokhran, one, the Smiling Buddha, which also happened in the middle of 1970s. Yet we were critically dependent on external powers. We relied on the USA for food grains and the Soviet Union for the bulk of our defense platforms. So too little attention was paid to exports and India's place in global trade at a moment when several East Asian economies were building their entire growth model around it. I'll just quote a thought, not really as a quotation, but as a thought which comes from Friedrich Hayek. The problem of long-term central planning. I'm paraphrasing what Hayek had said in so many different words. The problem of long-term central planning is that it assumes that things will not change much over time. The big advantage of decentralized and personal decisions when it happens at the ground level is the personal decision making itself, is that it responds to change minute by minute as the change happens, because it's in your face. Whereas when you're doing a centralized planning, everything top up, that immediate response to change does not happen. And therefore, the late 1980s and 90s also underscored a difficult lesson in political economy. A stable central authority gave way to fragmented coalition politics. Government started to prioritize political survival over long-term strategic decision-making. One, you assume that in the long term nothing changes, and nothing changes so significantly because your centralized planning assumes that. And another, political instability also left the long-term planning for development by the side, and political survival was the only creed. Religion-based politics brazenly sidelined the developmental agenda of the nation. Policy continuity weakened, decision-making slowed, and the capacity to undertake ambitious reforms diminished. So the crucial years were lost despite the severity of the stress.